Yes, I don't have no hat on today. We're filming a different location today because this is more of a heartfelt talk. This is whenever the TV show gets started. This is where we'll be filming at. One day I'll walk around and just introduce you to the place and Travis and everybody. And the other day I had a conversation with somebody, I don't even remember who it was, because I do talk to quite a few people, and the word cant came up. One of my most hate words in vocabulary is cant. Maybe I don't know how, or maybe I don't have the opportunity, or in that respect, but not the word can't, because you know, whenever you use can't, you've already failed. So to me, that's a big no-no. You know, there's a lot of things I don't know how to do, and if I want to do them, I'm going to learn how to do them, and then I'll do it if I want to do it. You know, because I've been struggling at this for years and years, and probably anybody else would have done quit by now because I don't have financial backing. You know, I wasn't born into money. You know, just a kid from Midwestern town. He made some bad choices through the years and made my share of mistakes, but it's made me who I am. And at the end of the day, I'm sort of glad I did, because it has made me who I am. You know, and my biggest thing now is, and I'm trying, is my cigarettes. And you know, and it ticks me off if something like that I let get hold of me, because I don't drink, I don't do drugs and everything, and it's by my choice, people. It's my choice only. I'm not an alcoholic, and I've never been a drug addict. It's my choice. I don't drink. It's that simple. I don't like the taste of the mess, and I don't begrudge anybody else wants to have beer here and there, but on my own accord, I prefer not to. I drink my coffee and Coke and Coca-Cola and my flavored waters. You know, I see in my line of work, I've come across a lot of people doing my clinics, and through the training aspects and through emails, and I see a lot of troubled people out there. And unfortunately, we got people out there who feeds off them troubled people and wants to knock them down and keep them down. Because as long as they keep them down, they, you know, make them feel better and stuff, get out there and do something on their own right, stand on their own 2 feet. But they can't do that because they don't want to admit their shortcomings. And the whole thing is, we got shortcomings. We all do. None of us is perfect. And life would be darn boring if it was perfect. And I don't have all the answers. Far be it. But I'm going to keep looking for the answers. And that's, to me, is the meaning of life. We're supposed to better ourselves and try to be a better person. And, you know, my job on this earth is try to uplift people. And at times, yes, I get short with people and I get aggravated. But I still enjoy people, don't get me wrong. But it's just, you know, I get pulled, in my case, I get pulled so many different directions. Some things get slighted, and I don't mean for it happens, but it does happen once in a while, because I am trying to be too many different people. So I'm trying to find that balance. But unfortunately, I keep hard at it because I got to make a living. I don't talk about, I guess, the word I can't. And stuff, you know, when something comes up, stuff saying you can't do something, look at a different perspective and just flat out say, you know, I don't really know how to do that. And be honest with yourself. Are you willing? Saying, you know what, I'm not really willing to learn how to do it. That, to me, is fine, because you're taking charge, you're taking control, and you are being responsible for that, and you just plumb out don't want to do it, which is fine with me. But don't use the word "I can't" as an excuse. You know, that's one of the things in basic training they taught me. Our TI training instructor made sure he hated that word and drilled that in their heads. So, you know, we all should try to leave this world a better place. And we should better ourselves. Or try to. And I don't mean financially. Of course, that's nice too, but better ourselves as a human being, individual. Don't, you know, I've seen so many times people judge people, like in the Western world, by the saddle, by their hat, or by the boots. And, you know, a person with a $200 hat might not be no better a horseman than that person with that $60 hat. Because at the end of the day, it's what underneath that hat and inside them boots what matters. You know, I heard one time a kid making fun of a gal who had a cheap hat. And he said, "Hey, ain't that ludicrous? You know, she's wearing that cheap hat. She couldn't spend at least $200 for a good hat." Well, you know, if that tells me a lot about where that guy is coming from. You know, he's judging that person by what they're wearing, and you can't do that. I mean, there was a guy who came out and fixed a tractor. He made his first million. He came from Louisiana, and he's probably in his 70s now. And he came out here because in Louisiana he wasn't considered nothing but white trash. He came out here and he said, "David, I've made my $1 million and I'm on my second million." And if you looked at this guy, you would have never guessed it. And I smiled and I laughed because it goes the old adage, never judge a book for a cover. And here's a guy who, you know, probably was called white trash his whole life and everything. He got away from Louisiana and now he's a millionaire. And to know him, or to see him, you wouldn't think so. And I guarantee it, that man, so sure of himself, he would not judge somebody by what they're wearing. You know, and when we get to our maker, you know, grandfather's not going to care what we're wearing. We came in this earth naked. And, you know, so if he cared about what we're going to have when we get up to heaven, we would have been born with clothes on. You know, just like I say with natural horsemanship. If natural horsemanship was really a thing, horses would have been born with a saddle on their back and know how to ride. But they don't. So, you know, you got to put it all in perspective. Max is getting in the camera. My little holy dog, terror dog. He's coming around. I don't dare let him off leash because he'd be going after ground squirrels and coyote to get him. Out Falcon Ridge he runs around, but here we sort of got to keep an eye on him. But so the whole thing is, what I want to leave here when I get off here, and y'all what to think about. Next time you think I can't do something, look at the real reason why you can't. And like I said earlier, rephrase it. If you don't have the knowledge, say, "I don't have the knowledge, but I'm willing to learn." Or just be honest about it. Don't come up with cock and bull stories. Why? Now, if you don't want to do something, just say, "You know what? I don't want to do it." Don't say I can. Just come out and say, "I don't want to do it." It's that simple. With other people, think about what their objective is. Because there's a lot of people in this world, they want to keep you down. And their way of keeping you down is saying you're stupid or you're dumb or you can't do this or you can't do that, or if you try to do it, it's not their way, and they try to make you feel dumb. I mean, my dad used to be bad about that. But that was his shortcomings. That wasn't mine. One day, people, best thing to think about is when you look at yourself in the mirror, can you be honest with yourself as you look in the mirror? And yes, sometimes it's not pretty. But in order for us to have a better life, we should be able to honestly look at ourselves. Because until then, at the end of the day, we're miserable. And at times we don't like what we see. But in order for us to change it and have a better life, mentally, we got to be able to look at it. Step out of our comfort zone. I mean, I do that a few times a week, stepping out of my comfort zone. I don't know if my horse is going to take my head off or not. So, and try to make a difference in this world. You know, not gigantic. You don't have to, you know, save a couple hundred people. If somebody's at the store and they want to get something and they're short of money, throw $1 or $2 down on the counter. Say, here, get it, unless it's something you don't agree with, like beer or cigarettes or something. But if it's food or something, throw a couple of dollars on the counter, and if they say thank you, fine. But don't throw it down for a thank you. Just throw it down and realize you just helped a person out that day. Try to make it a better place. Not just for you, but for other people. And I guarantee you, you'll start seeing changes in your life all the way around. But you got to take charge first. Don't let anybody else try to work you. You got to take charge of your own life. So that's my preaching for today. Couldn't even give you a clue why I felt like these words need to be said. There's nothing going in my life right now to make me feel like I should say them. But I just kept thinking of that conversation with that person. They said they couldn't do something. So with all that said, next month coming up here real shortly. Actually, I should have been bringing it up in my videos. July the 9th and 7th, here we go. We're going to try it again, people. We're going to try to be up Gilroy. Between the rains and that outbreak of that darn, and everybody panicking that all the horses are going to get that one virus, that still blows me away. So we're not going to go there. I'm going to be in Gilroy. Information should be on my clinic page. Information and contact info. So hopefully this time we'll get up there. People, you need to get on the wagon here and start booking some clinics, because I'm going to get filled up. And my fees aren't that bad. Most people can afford them. If they have a small group or something, they can afford my fees. Anyway, as I always say, be true to the horse. They'll be true to you. First and foremost, be true to yourself, people. Got to be. Be true to yourself. And my kids, and a special person out there, and you know what? Everybody else out there has been watching my YouTube for the last few years. Thank you. God bless and take care.